Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. It is your girl Kayla, aka KK, and I am not feeling my best right now because let me tell you something. Auntie Flo, she came hard and no one invited her. So let's get into it. Here are the books that we're gonna be reading for the month of July. Woo! Book number 1. And they're all from the library except one. Book number 1 is called Tomorrow Doesn't Come. And from what I can remember about this book, it's about 2 girls. The end of the world, I think. Like a meteor is supposed to come and destroy Earth either in 2 days or 3 days. They basically have feelings for each other, but neither of them can admit it to each other. So they're trying to grow the courage to say how they feel before they basically die when the meteor hits. So that should be interesting, that should be cute, that should be fun. Next, Untamed by Glennon Doyle. I am an idiot because Glennon Doyle did not realize this is the same person that hosts my favorite podcast, one of my favorite podcasts, We Can Do Hard Things. Did not realize that was the same person. So Glennon Doyle, Untamed, I know is one of those like self-improvement books telling the story about how she got a divorce from her husband and then met her wife and now is living a fulfilled life. So it's basically that transition and how to be courageous and find yourself basically. So that's this book. Sounds interesting. I've been wanting to read it for a minute. I love a good self-improvement, finding yourself type book. Next, this is not from the library. I actually own this one. It's called War Girls by Tochi Onyebuchi. I honestly forgot how I heard about it, and I forgot that I even had it. And I'm like, ooh, I really want to get into my sci-fi fiction era, you know what I mean? So I picked it up and I found it on Libby, so I'm going to be listening to it while reading the book. And this one is about 2 sisters who live in Africa, I want to say, and there's a civil war going on and bombings start going off in their village, and the sisters get split up, and as they're growing up or as they're getting older, the war is still going on, but they find themselves on 2 opposite ends of the war. And so it's like they're enemies, but they don't know that they're enemies yet, and they're trying to figure out basically how to still love one another without hurting the other type thing. So I really want to dive into that because I think it's going to be good, and it's based in the year 2172, so long after I'm dead. Next is How to Sell a Haunted House. Why did I pick this book up? I think after I read one of my other books, The Butcher and the Wren. If you don't know, get into it. After I read that book, I was like, ooh, I would really like to get into my spooky time era. And now that July 4th is over, it's time to get into the spooky season, baby. From all I know from this book, is basically a family trying to sell a haunted house because somebody died in the house. That's all I can remember, and that's all I know. So, yeah. And last but not least, the long-awaited An Ember in the Ashes. I also want to get back into my fantasy bag, so I picked this book up. I know I had just watched a reading challenge by one of my favorite booktubers. She read, I think there's 3 or 4 books in this series, but she read the whole series in maybe 5 days. The emotions in that series, in that vlog, and the way that people are saying you get so attached to the characters, I'm just like, okay, I want to check it out. I want to see what the hype is about. That's why I checked it out in my library. So these are the books. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 books, and honestly all of them are pretty dang thick. So this is going to be a thick summer girl vlog. Instead of a hot girl summer, I'm having a thick book summer, you know what I mean? So yeah, these are the books, and I hope you guys can come with me on this journey because I'm used to reading books that are less than 300 pages. It's gonna be a long summer, even though I'm trying to read these in a week. We'll see. We'll see. I probably can't, knowing myself. So yeah. And I also have some Kindle books that I'm trying to also squeeze in there. So my Kindle, these are my physical books. These are my physical books that I'm reading for the month of July. So when it comes to my Kindle books, let's start with For Psychos, The Dark Side by Christy Cunning. It is a reverse harem series. It's about a ghost girl who wants to become a human girl, and she's been haunting these 4 best friends. Well, I don't know if they're best friends, but she's been haunting these 4 men, and she wants to become a human girl to be their new plaything, their new sex slave, basically. And I'm like, oh, okay, so she wants that. Get into it. I love a dark romance. I love a dark villain mafia type romance. Something exciting about it. I don't know what it is. So yes, that's book number 1. Book number 2 on my Kindle journey is called The Vampire in the Bookstore by L.M. Drew. And this one is about a vampire man who is in love with books. He loves nothing more than books. And then a woman who also loves books, and they run into each other in the library, but little does he know, she is obsessed with him. She already knows who he is because he is one of her favorite authors. So it's basically a short book, but it goes through their whole evening together, running into each other, getting to know each other, sexy time in the library. I hope, oh my gosh, I hope it is in the library. Ugh, I love the whole not getting caught type love making. Ugh, so sexy. Then we have the book Untamed Vixen, a dark mafia romance by Luna Pierce. I just know it's a dark mafia romance, and we love mafia and we love darkness, so yeah. Next on the list, we have Sing Me to Sleep by R.M. Virtues. I have heard amazing things about this book. It is about a girl who suffers from sleep paralysis. The twist is that the demon that's haunting her starts to actually care for the girl, and then vice versa, the girl actually starts to care for the demon. So that should be interesting and fun. So I'm there for that. The next on the list is There Are No Saints by Sophie Lark. This is, I know in this one a girl gets captured, and either she falls in love with the person that captured her, or vice versa. I kind of forgot. Or they just fall for each other. But yeah, that's the only thing I know about that book. And then lastly, I have Praise by Sarah Kate. Okay, so Praise, The Salacious Players Club. Praise is book 1 of the Salacious Players Club by Sarah Kate. It's giving me Grey's Anatomy. No, it's giving me 50 Shades of Grey. Yeah, from what I can remember from the description, the girl gets hired at a job and her boss brings her to her knees, literally to her knees. She's the secretary, and she basically just wants to be told that she's good enough. And so her boss is like, well, you can be good in other things. And she's like, okay. And they get into it. So I'm intrigued to know how that is. But I just saw that it's 353 pages. It better be the best 353 pages that this story has, because if the story does not keep my attention, I'm gonna be hurt, because I really want to enjoy the story. But sometimes I feel like the longer books on the Kindle, long books on the Kindle just really I really don't like for some reason, but we'll see. So yeah, those are the books that I plan on reading this month, and we'll see if it happens. I mean, that makes 11 books for the month, so we'll see, because I read 6 books in June. So this would be a new challenge for me, especially since these books that I'm gonna plan on reading, they are thicker than what I'm used to. So we'll see what happens. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and thank you so much for being here. And I hope you guys are having an amazing Sunday whenever you're watching this, Monday night, Monday morning. And don't forget that you are enough, and I love you so much. If you want to be notified when I upload, please hit the notification bell. Don't forget to subscribe and leave a beautiful comment down below on what you plan to do this summer, reading, having a hot girl summer, roller skating, whatever. Just let me know so I can also get inspired, because sometimes I just don't have the energy. But yeah, I'll see you in my next one. Peace and blessings. Bye.